Good evening, fastball fans. Welcome back to the Green Valley Sports Complex here in Moline, Illinois. It is 76th Annual ISC World Tournament. Out on the field are the New York Gremlins, and they're going to be taking on the Oswego Redmen tonight here on the ISC Network. Blair Setford joining you. Special color commentator this evening, brand new ISC Hall of Famer Travis Wilson. Has that one sunk in yet?
I tell you what, it did about 2 minutes before I had to get up and speak yesterday morning. So, pretty emotional this weekend, to be honest, Blair. But it's a very enjoyable weekend and good to be back here around the game.
Well, we're thrilled that you're able to join us here in the booth, not just for an interview, but for the whole game. We'll get you to analyze and maybe critique the New York Gremlins a little bit, tell a couple of stories here and there. But we'll set the stage for you. For the Oswego Redmen, leading things off will be Ryan Salt playing center field. He'll be followed by Mitch Green. Mike Roots, the designated player in the 3 spot. Robert Dude Bomberry, the catcher for Oswego. Matt Salt, Ryan Davis, Wade Kawagashig is playing first base. Zach Green, Josh Martin in the 9 spot. Caleb Keishig, pitcher, not batting for the Oswego Redmen. Left to right for the Gremlins out in the outfield, Matty Waugh, Beninoka, and Zenon Winters as we're underway. Around the horn, Jerome Remeke at third base. Cole Evans is short, Ladislaw Meller-Zook second, and Eric Ochoa at first base for the Gremlins. As you can tell, Big Andrew Cheese Kirkpatrick out on the board for the Gremlins, pitching to Nick Mullins. And Travis, you played a lot behind Andrew. How easy is it playing behind the big fella?
Well, I think the best thing about it was his how quickly he worked. Like, he gets that ball back, gets on the mound. You hardly ever see him shake off. He's got a good rapport with Nick Mullins behind the plate here, and they just work really fast. It makes it easy.
Swing and a miss here by Ryan Salt, down on strikes, and just that quick. The first out of the inning. That'll bring up Mitch Green. Travis, what is it like being the top dog here in one of the ISC World Tournaments? What are the things that you're trying to accomplish in these early round games?
Well, this is really tough for the Gremlins, having that first game, a no-show by the opposition. And that's 7 innings of softball that they could have got under their belt by now. That's probably all of their pitches that they could have got in a little bit of work on day one, and they've missed that. And now they're going with Kirkpatrick for game 2, and this is the second game of the day for the team they're playing. They're pretty into the tournament already, get a feel, and this is day 3, but the Gremlins' first game. So I would imagine that's a little tough for them right now.
Yeah, for those that don't know, the Gallup Indians team from New Mexico that were supposed to be the first round opponent for the Gremlins on Saturday afternoon had a COVID outbreak on the team this week. Notifies Thursday, unable to attend the tournament. You can't redraw the tournament on Thursday before a tournament starts on Saturday. Had to go with the forfeits. Unfortunately, it affects the Gremlins, and that cascades through the tournament a little bit. But here the Gremlins are for their debut. Oswego Redmen winners the other night get into this game, and a big opportunity for them to showcase what they bring to the table too. Well, swing and a miss there. Mitch Green can't catch up to that rise ball on the outside corner, and Kirkpatrick looks like he's got the rise and the drop going earlier right now.
Yeah, well, no doubt fresh, right? He's had a good little break after coming off winning the ASAs last weekend. They're in a good spot right now. The Gremlins playing well, and well and truly rested, ready to make a run.
Mike Root, designated player, steps in for the Gremlins into the 3 spot in the order. Pitch just off the just on the outside corner. Bit of a late call there from our home plate umpire, but that's all right. We'll get used to his pace. And you see Eric Ochoa, first base. That's a called strike.
Have noticed a pretty liberal strike zone so far this weekend. I don't know if that's a thing the umpires have talked about. I just opened up the zone a little bit. I do see some pitches a little off the zone being called here this weekend so far.
Well, Kirkpatrick mows down the side, top of the first, 3 up, 3 down, nothing across for the Oswego Redmen. We'll take a break. We'll go to the home half. Blair Setford, Travis Wilson here on the ISC Network.
The annual Boys of Summer tournament is held every July at Circle Tap Bar and Grill in Denmark, Wisconsin. We host some of the top teams in the game at one of the best venues in softball. The atmosphere of old-time fast pitch with all of the amenities of a full-service bar and grill on the grounds can't be beat. Reduced-rate hotels about 10 minutes from the park are available in Green Bay. To bring your team to the annual Boys of Summer tournament next July, contact Dean Kane at ct16@greenbaynet.com. Thanks to
Back here for the bottom of the first inning coming up as wait for Rob Barberry to get out behind the plate for the warm-ups. We're talking with Travis Wilson, who's going to be here for the duration of the game tonight. Travis, let's start with the call that you got a few months back, elected to the ISC Hall of Fame.
Yeah, pretty special call, to be fair, to hearing from Greg Leather with the Gremlins that I'm going to join a pretty select group of elite softball players was pretty special. And like was mentioned a lot yesterday at the breakfast, it definitely makes you think back to, all the seasons you had playing in this tournament and all your teammates and your coaches and your sponsors, and just sort of goes full circle. I was delighted. It's a special honour, no doubt. This is the premier softball tournament, if not, in North America, possibly the world. So it's very nice to be recognised along with some of the greats in the game.
I can't think of a more spectacular class of people that's gone into the Hall of Fame. I've been attending these things for the better part of 20 years, and I look at the class of people that we had this year, and yourself included, going in with just a stellar group. But some teammates too, and that's got to be special. Yeah,
definitely some teammates. But I think just what you have to do and how consistent you have to be over a long period of time to be considered a Hall of Famer here. I don't think there's going to be any weak classes going forward again, just because of what you've got to play for a long time, you've got to be successful for a long time, and you've got to put up the numbers. So I think there's going to. I agree. I really like the class I'm going in with. There's some legit players, but I think that's going to be the case moving forward too.
Yeah, and that's not to say that there aren't legit people in the Hall of Fame, but this class in particular, you can't argue with any of the selections this year, and just all around top class individuals too, and that's the one thing, and we'll talk about this over the course of the broadcast as Matty Waugh steps up to the plate for the Gremlins. He'll be followed by Jerome Remeke, Ben Anoka, then Eric Cho in the 4th spot for the Gremlins. Wayne Laulu is the designated player tonight. Cole Evans at short, Zenon Winters, Ladislaw Mallerzuk, Nick Mullins in the 9th spot for the Gremlins here. Defensively for Sweekin, Josh Martin in left, Ryan Salt in center, Matt Salt is out in right field, and then around the horn you got Ryan Davis at third, Mitch Green at short, Zach Green at second base, and Wade at first base, and Caleb Kishig pitching to Robert Bomberry. Kishig a couple of years back with the Toronto Batmen got himself into the ISC guide, rack up close to 100 strikeouts, and had a great tournament, led the Batmen to a Final Four spot. Got himself on the radar screen for Team Canada, and I think might still be in the 40-man pool. Matty Waugh, of course, will be headed down to North Harbour, Auckland, New Zealand, for the 2022 WBSC World Cup later this year. You've played in that stadium, I would assume.
One of my favorite places to play. And I know New Zealand is just dying to get some top-class softball back in there. Obviously, the last couple of years have been tough with the pandemic and everything, and I think just to get some world-class softball back into the Auckland area, I know they'll be prepared and ready, and the fans will be just dying to get out there and get amongst it.
Up and into Matty Waugh. He tosses the bat away and has got some hard words for Kishig, and this one's not going down well. Matty got hit in the face earlier in the year. In fact, I think it was Caleb actually who hit him up and in and then had a black eye. Here you see Matty with the harsh words. Wow, that's pretty up and in.
Yeah, I don't think that was on.
I don't think so either. Yeah,
does it go that deep into the count, and I don't think you really want to hit him in that situation there. So, but if there is a little bit of history there, you can see Matty's, displeasure with it happening again. But he's on first base, and I think he'll be over it pretty quickly.
I would think so, especially if he's got to run the bases with Jerome Remeke knocking him around. Swing and a miss there from Ramaki. Good drop ball by Kishig. How well do you know Jerome?
I've seen him play a bit. He was definitely one of the younger ones coming through as I was finishing my career, but I was talking to a few people out the back, and he's one of the most feared hitters in the game right now.
He is one of the best power hitters in the game, especially from the left side too, which seems to be a big thing with Canadians, but maybe not so much certainly with the Americans or the Kiwis.
For sure. He has a presence in the box, no question there. Doesn't get cheated with when he gets a swing off, and I think from what I've seen lately, been very patient. He forces the pitcher into the zone, and if you can do that as a power hitter with the power that he does have, then squaring some balls up, you're going to get some good value here. In some perfect softball weather, I might add. I've been played at this stadium a few times, and it's been pretty warm and sticky. Beautiful night tonight. Very little breeze, and a good little crowd on hand.
Yeah, it was earlier in the day. The sun was out, and it was just getting to that unbearable point again. On the move, Waugh, throw down, slides in safely ahead. So Matty Waugh, stolen base and up in a scoring position for Remeke. But with that cloud cover that we've had this afternoon, it's just been a great afternoon for ball.
Yeah. Well, good jump there from Waugh. I'm sure he's been standing over at first base here for a few pitches, a little angry about the hit by pitch. I'm surprised it took him that long to get moving, but he's in the scoring position and give Ramaki a chance to drive in the first run of the game.
Chopper on the infield, that's going to get through, but it is not going to get far enough to advance Matty Waugh past third base. So runners on the corners, and a good bit of hitting there by Remeke just to take that the opposite way.
Yeah, nice little start here for the Gremlins. A little base hit to left. First and third for the heart of the order.
Benny Noka up to the plate. Have you guys talked with Benny about the hair?
No, he does have some good flow going right now, doesn't he?
He's got some real good flow. He lived in Toronto for 3 years. Maybe he's taken some cues from Bo Bichette.
Yeah, just looking at this lineup here, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of holes in it as you go along here.
There are no weak spots in the Gremlins order. There's national team guys that are not playing for the Gremlins tonight, not including number 25 here.
Yes. Anytime you can keep number 25, Vadim Matiozian, out of the lineup, there's some pretty good players out there.
Yes, you're doing well.
Yes.
You guys would have seen a lot of number 25 as he would have turned around to pick up pass balls at the screen.
Good to see him out here this week.
Chopper high on the infield. They got to hurry to get Anoka. One run in. Waugh comes in to score. That is, if you're going to pound it into the ground, that's the perfect place to do it because you get that high hopper, and you're not going to get Matty Waugh at the plate there.
No, nice bit of base running there by Matty Waugh. Chopper in front of it. He didn't hesitate, went off. No play at home. Just another RBI for Ben Anoka, which I'm sure he's racking them up over his years here at the ISC. Obviously not what he wanted offensively, but anytime you can drive in the first run of the ball game, you'll take it.
So Benny has hit leadoff for several years in his career, and now he's made the switch to the 3 spot. Totally different mindset from leadoff to the 3 spot.
I think what you'd want Benny to do is just keep playing his game, though. Whether he's hitting first, second, third in the lineup, or maybe even in the middle. He's going to get a good pitch. He's going to drive it. He's going to stay up the big part of the park. You see a lot of his swings go left center, right center. Just a pure hitter. Again, has a really good idea of the strike zone and the situation. And again, a chopper in front of the mound, not ideal for him, but that's another RBI, and that's exactly what you need here. As many runs as you can.
Yeah, they'll be just trying to score them in bunches here. Ochoa at the plate, and another pure power hitter. I don't know if you would have seen much of Eric Ochoa before the end of your career. So a relatively recent addition, played with the Mexican national team a little bit, got his U.S. citizenship, now on the USA team, and a pure power hitter here in the 4th spot. Big swing, pops this one up on. Oh, he tripped over the lip of the grass, and that ball falls in. Remeke goes coast to coast, and up to second base is Eric Ochoa there with a bit of a tough break for the REDMEN, or a good break depending if you're a Gremlins fan, as the shortstop tripped over the grass there. Mitch Green got to the lip, and we've seen a few other people look at that in the past games, and it is a pronounced lip up there. It's not that smooth transition.
Yeah, tough break for the REDMEN there. A pretty nice pitch. Got the pop up what you want, and just a tough turnaround. You could kind of tell as soon as that ball went up. I think he turned the wrong way to start. If he turned over his right shoulder instead of his left, he might have had a better chance. But I'm sure that'll go in the book as a RBI single, and tough break for the REDMEN.
Yeah, they all look like the same when they go into the book there. So at the plate, one of your countrymen, and here's a guy that you don't want him to be in the bathroom when he comes to the plate, because it's always something to behold when Wayne Laulu is up.
I was having a good chat with Wayne earlier in the week. Obviously, he's playing late into his career here, and asked him about what adjustments he's been making at the plate, and he's really tried to shorten up. He doesn't have that big swing that he used to have. He's just trying to be as short as he can to the ball. He understands that singles and RBIs are what he's looking for right now, and if he does get that pitch, he still has the ability to leave the yard, but definitely changed his approach at the plate, which is a sign of a pretty good hitter.
Well, you see right there, he's choked up in the bat a little bit, which he didn't always used to do. Chases one out of the zone here. Good pitch from Caleb Keeshig to get an out, and that'll bring up Cole Evans. And this was somebody I definitely was waiting to ask you about, the new captain of the Black Sox. This kid playing in a World Series at age 16 as a teenager, something you did as well, but I think there's a big difference between being 16 and 19. And his emergence as a leader in the New Zealand softball scene.
Yeah, pretty much every report I'm getting out of the Greenland camp, as well as New Zealand, is we've got a pretty classy individual, someone who's probably going to be around this game for a while, and on top of that, just plays some outstanding shortstop.
Filled a big hole for the Gremlins, because sometimes they were rotating Nick Mullins between short and catcher, and Brian Avery was playing outfield, was playing catcher, and it's not always easy, in mid-tournament to have to make that transition. And this allows Mullins to capitalize and just think about catching only. Anyway, down on strikes here, as often happens, the curse of the broadcasters. But we'll pick it up. Coming up top of the second, Gremlins score 1. They lead 1-0. Stay with us here on the ISC Network.
Whatever your delivery requirements are across North America, Skelton Truck Lines provides you with reliable, safe, and high-quality service at a fair price. Skelton Truck Lines equipment is satellite tracked and delivers small parcel, less than truckload, and expedited shipments throughout Canada and the U.S. With over 50 years of experience and more than 50 trucks serving 4 divisions, Skelton Truck Lines is a thriving Ontario business and a proud fastball sponsor. Visit us online at skeltontruck.com. Thanks to Mike Skelton for supporting the broadcast program. Whatever your
The Master Sergeant Talbot Memorial Bridge, beautiful sight connecting Illinois and Iowa. We're here in Moline, Illinois, and that great shot brought to you. Luciano Lafrano had the drone up the other day. And Travis, we were just talking off air about Cole Evans. This is his first ISC World Tournament game, and obviously some nerves.
No doubt. I mean, I had the opportunity to play in 9 of them. I'm still nervous game 1 of my 9th one, so I can only imagine what the young fella's feeling out there at shortstop in his first one. You want to get that first game under your belt. As a pitcher, you want to get the first clean inning like Andrew did in the first, and I know these guys try to get their first base hit out of the way so you can relax a little bit and ease yourself into the game.
Robert Bomberry chases strike 3 well up and out of the zone. Kirkpatrick seemingly has got it going his way right now. But I think also maybe some nerves on the part of the Redmen here. You're on the main stage. You're up against one of the top teams. You're on the streaming broadcast. You know, there's a lot of people watching, and that nerves thing does work both ways.
No doubt. And you're getting Andrew Kirkpatrick, who's obviously not his first go around here, and he's attacking the zone nice and early. And then if you're showing any propensity to chase, he's going to expose you there.
This one's lifted out to the left, but Matt Wall will come across to make that catch. Matt Salt goes down with the fly to left, and will bring up Ryan Davis.
Yeah, drop ball on the outer third, just a little bit out in front, and an easy play for Matthew Wah out there and left. First ball in play for the Redmen. Maybe that'll help him a little bit settle in and start swinging at some better pitches and get some balls in play.
Well, Oswegan is known as a free-swinging team. They always have been, and they can be bad ball hitters, too. You certainly don't want to leave center cut, but I've seen more than one of these guys hit something at their eyes and give it a ride, too. Time here at the plate by Davis. Big healthy cut there, and just can't connect. Up in the zone. That is an easy step in the bag for the third out of the inning. We're moving along quite quickly here. We're going to go to the home half of the second. The Gremlins coming back up to the plate with that 1-0 lead. The lights are on here at the Milt Handfield Green Valley Sports Complex, and we're looking for a close-up on Var Matosian, are we?
Yeah, a report from Greg Leather is that there's, a hot dog stain. A big one on Var Matosian's hitting jacket.
Oh,
he does have the green one on. I do see Reese with the black one on, so maybe Varm's made a change, but more often than not, there is some kind of stain on his uniform somewhere.
Oh, Varm. So, Travis, when you come into your first game as an ISC World Tournament, you're one of the top teams. You touched on it a little bit as we started to get through the previous inning. What are the things that you're looking to do as a hitter, establishing good habits?
Well, you want to stay in the zone, but selfishly, you want to get that first hit out of the way so you can relax a little bit. Especially in this situation right now with the Gremlins, they missed the first game. This is like day 3 of the tournament, and they're just getting on the field for the first time. So I think a lot of these guys are trying to get that first hit out of the way. Then you can take a little bit of a breath, and then you can start working your way into the game and the tournament a little bit more.
The veteran Zenon Winters at the plate. Zenon said he got a text when I called him the veteran back in Simcoe in the spring. Then he thought about it and he said, "Yeah, I guess I am." But Zenon Winters at the plate. You would have played against Zenon, no?
Played a ton of games against Zenon.
Chopper here in the infield, Had to wait for it to come down, sidearm throw across, but that ball just had too much altitude on it before it came down for the shortstop, Mitch Green. Zenon Winters still runs real well and beats that one out on the infield for his first hit.
Yeah, for sure. Smelt a base hit as soon as he chopped that one in, and he was hustling down the line pretty good. Again, he's got that first hit out of the way without barreling a ball up, so as a hitter, you're feeling pretty good about yourself that you're in for a good day when that's the first AB you have.
Yeah, that's a nice start. Ladislav Malorczuk to the plate. And had a notion to go after it. It's hard to believe it's been 10 years since that U19 team from Argentina came to Midland, Michigan, and played in their first ISC World Tournament. Malorczuk up the middle, out at second, and just beats out the throw. It's a good job, actually, by the shortstop there, Mitch Green, to tag the bag, because that play had actually taken him past the bag.
Yeah, good job coming across there and to keep that right foot on the bag. You're probably not going to turn two there with Ladislav getting down the line. So got the lead runner, got the first out, and that'll bring Nick Mullins to the plate.
Talk about what Nick Mullins means to this team. I mean, multiple positions, and on the move is Malorczuk. Ball gets away from Mitch Green there, the shortstop. So stolen base, and Greg Leather being aggressive right away and putting Malorczuk in motion, getting him up into scoring position. But talk about Nick Mullins quietly having, foul ball out of nowhere, just about killed everybody in the stands in front of us. But quietly having a really good career here in the ISC.
100%. Like you touched on, he's catching. Him and Cheese have a very good relationship, pitcher-catcher. He can go in and play shortstop at any time, third base. He can play second base. He just brings versatility. But I think what he's really bringing to the Gremlins right now is just his ability to call a good game with Cheese on the mound.
Kishik misses inside.
I think Andrew Kirkpatrick, during the week, he goes down and lives with Nick Mullins down in Tampa. So these guys get to spend a lot of time together, no doubt, talk a lot of softball, and I'm sure that helps in situations like this.
Yeah, Mullins made the move from New Jersey a couple of years ago down to Florida. Certainly the weather's much better down than being in New Jersey. So the walk to Mullins and back to the top of the shop for Matthew Waugh. You already gave your second at bat here just in the second inning. So again, some of the nerves and the butterflies disappearing. We'll see if Matty's got some vengeance on his mind here. Get a hard hit ball off of Kishik.
Yes, the question's going to be, is he going to come up inside again? I mean, you can see with Matty Waugh here when he steps in, his left foot, he likes to be very, very close to the plate. So as a pitcher, it doesn't give you a ton of room inside to throw to him. So I think that's why he does get hit quite a bit.
Staying away right now for the first two pitches. It can get into the head of a pitcher too if you've had that experience once or twice. That I better not go there again.
Well, I think the first two pitches outside might be have something to do with that too.
Chopper in the infield. Green, a little bit of hesitation, and that cost him the out at first. He thought about going to third to try to get Malorczuk, and that was just enough for Matty Waugh to beat that out.
Yeah, again, got the pitch he wanted, got the ground ball. I'm just not sure why he didn't go straight to second base with that ball right there. That would have got you the out you needed.
Yeah, the indecision cost him across the board. You get the bases loaded now for Remeke, one of the last guys you want to see come to the plate with the bases loaded. But indecision all the way around. We talk about this a lot up here, where when you give away an out to one of the top teams, it really does come back to bite you. I'm sure you see this in your role all the time too.
Yeah, no question. I mean, with the first inning, this could easily be a 0-0 ball game there. The shortstop made the play going back in the first, and again, if he just flips that ball to second base to get the lead runner in a different situation. But now we got some stress pitches for Kishik on the mound against Remeke.
Big cut there. Good thing he had the shoes tied up. Would have come out of them. And time at the plate. As a hitting coach, how do you talk to your players about approaching situations like this? Now you got the bases loaded, you got an opportunity to drive in some runs, help your team. How do you coach your players in these situations?
Yeah, well, so many times as a hitter, you go to the plate here thinking, I've got to do more. Like, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. When really, if you take a step back and take a breath, you realize that the pitcher right now is the one who has the pressure on. You've just got to make sure that you force them into the zone and just put the barrel up a ball, because you've got the infield in, you've got lots of options to drive in a run.
This one way foul, left field line, and then out of play. And the other side of it, defensively, what do you talk to your teams about defense in these types of situations?
Well, it looks like they're in on the left side. The second baseman's a little bit deep, and you've got really good speed here. So anything chopped in the ground, like I would tell my middles right now, especially my second baseman, to play in, because they're going to obviously go on contact on the ground. You've got like really good speed at third. Yeah, it's just tough. You want to keep away from the big inning here defensively. Like if you're going to give up 1, maybe 2 to the Gremlins right here, that's not so bad in a bases loaded situation. But you just want to keep away from that big inning.
We fouled out and off, couldn't hold it, Bomberry. And he'll trot out to have conversation with Caleb Kishig.
Big pitch coming up here in the grand scheme of the game early.
Full count to Remeke. And ball 4, that pitch not close, misses downstairs. Mallerzook comes in the easy way. Remeke picks up the easiest RBI he'll get here this week. And Benny Anoka from the frying pan to the fire. 2-time MVP, as much experience as anybody can have. And chases a pitch out of the zone.
Really good job early going here by Kishig. He's keeping them off balance. Haven't really seen too many balls barreled up so far. He's kept the ball in the infield for the most part, so doing everything he can on the mound to limit the damage here, but a little bit more help from his infield. He could have been out of this inning.
Oh, excuse me, check swing. And that's a fair ball. They're going to get the out. Onoka was out the second he stopped. But he picks up another RBI. He hasn't hit a ball more than 12 feet, and he's got 2 RBIs.
Yeah, there's some things you can't teach in this game. Just the ability to drive in runs. I mean, again, not an at-bat that's probably going to make Ben too happy, but again, right now he's got 2 RBIs. Driven in 2 of the 3 runs this game.
Yeah. Eric Ochoa with runners in second and third now. But to your point, I mean, Kishig has kept the ball down. Nobody's been able to barrel it up. And if he gets out of this with only having given up 2, that's almost an accomplishment here at this point.
Well, we've had 1 ball per my below average scoring over here, Blair. We've had 1 ball to the outfield, and that was a bleeder through the 5-6 hole.
Yeah.
Everything else has been kept in the infield.
I've given up on keeping the book here during the games. I let Joe keep the book. I found I was spending so much time just trying to decipher my hieroglyphics that I should just watch the play. Big swing and a miss there by Ochoa. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kishig a strike away from trying to get out of this.